Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are returning, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to my channel, my name is Erica and I am here doing some videos where I compare some of my favorite blends to some of the most popular, well-known, and most shopped for oil companies in the market right now. Specifically today, I will be talking about, once again, oils from Revive Essential Oils, Young Living, and Plant Therapy, which happen to be three of my favorite companies to purchase oils from. So let's get into it. As you can see, I am coming to you from my classroom today. I do happen to be a middle school teacher, and don't worry, I'm not ignoring any students. I'm actually on my planning period today and wanted to get this video out to you guys because I have made you wait for it long enough. So today we are going to be comparing these three blends right here to each other. We have Plant Therapy's Let It Go. We have Revive's Zen. And we have Young Living's Peace and Calming. So, like with my past videos, I'm going to go over a couple of things when it comes to these three blends. Why did I choose these three blends and what their price points are and stuff like that. So, my comparisons are not based on how long they last. I'm not basing my comparison as far as like physical properties, benefits to you, but more so I'm comparing price per volume and I'm comparing their smell. So when you open these bottles, like, are they comparable in what they smell like? Are they truly, so are these two from Revive and Plant Therapy truly dupes for Young Living's Peace and Calming, really? So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So usually when I do these videos, I like to go in order of which one I had first. And in this case, the one that I had first was Zen from Revive Essential Oils. This bottle of Zen actually costs $28 for a 10 ml, but it was actually a oil of the month. I want to say back in like June, July, sometime in the summer. So I actually only paid $18 for it. So if you're not doing Revive's Oil of the Month Club, I highly recommend it because it's only $18 a month and you're guaranteed at least an $18 bottle of oil. In this case, I saved $10 on this one. So just to kind of like smell it for you guys, Zen is a very, I love the smell of Zen. I love diffusing it. I use it often in my little passive diffuser little jar here that I have in my classroom. I don't bring my diffuser into my classroom just because I want to respect the students that do come in physically, and also just to make sure that I don't get in trouble for using any electronic like devices in here. My school board's very picky. So I love this little passive diffuser, and I just put like 10 to 15 drops in here and it's good for about a week. Right now I have actually, what did I have in here? I actually have Let It Go in here. And I could still smell it. So I usually just give it a shake in the morning when I come in and it's just fantastic. But Zen, let's talk about what's in Zen. So in Zen, we have tangerine peel, and I'm sorry if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes over here. Tangerine peel, orange peel, Ylang Ylang flower, patchouli, and blue tansy. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I like to think that if the oil contain, like the list of ingredients of oils that are in a blend, tell us how much of that oil is in that blend. So I like to think that if tangerine and if tangerine and orange are at the top of the ingredient list, that's the most of what's in here. Then we have that Ylang Ylang, then patchouli, and then that blue tansy, which is going to give it that greenish hue that you see there. So those tangerine and orange oils are very, very orange. And when you add that blue tansy into it, it is going to turn your oil green. So just FYI. But I mean, Zen. Yes, it is very Zen-like. I love this oil so much. I used it very sparingly just because it is a $28 bottle of oil. And so I was constantly afraid to like run out of it. But now that I have a couple of other blends that are very comparable to it, I don't mind using it up a bit. So I usually bring it into my classroom and diffuse it in my passive diffuser. I diffuse it a lot in my diffuser at home, and when I had my little lava rock necklace, I would put it on my lava rock necklace a lot. Right now what I have in here is my bergamot, but once I run out of my bergamot in here, I'm probably going to be putting some of this in there. But anyways, definitely love this. Again, Revive's $28, and it only comes in a 10 ml, so that's the only size you can get this from Revive. Okay. All right, so next up we have Let It Go. So Let It Go I'm talking about next because it is the next oil that I received. I bought this one because I kept hearing that it was comparable to Zen and to Peace and Calming, so of course I had to try it. So Let It Go from Plant Therapy, FYI, is now called Chill Out. So it has gotten a rebranding. I know that they're repackaging a lot of their labels. So if you go looking for this blend on their website, you're gonna search for Chill Out. So they did name the change the name on it. So this is a 10 ml, and the 10 ml costs $12.95. So already it is much more affordable than this. This also does come in a 30 ml for $26.95. And as you can tell on their label, we're not seeing any kid safe logos on here. So it is important to note that this oil blend is not necessarily child safe, specifically because this oil contains Ylang Ylang flower. So Ylang Ylang oil, essential oil, is not a kid safe oil. Everything else in here is though. So if you want to have the effect of this blend and you want to make it yourself, and that goes for these as well. If you want to do the tangerine orange, patchouli, and blue tansy blend, you would probably get pretty much the same aroma. Would be child safe. So let's take a whiff at this one and do a little side-by-side comparison. So I'm going to open up Zen since I already kind of explained what this had. So as far as ingredients go, when you're comparing Zen to Let It Go, they have the exact same ingredients. Okay, so let me take a look at my notes again. So Plant Therapy has tangerine, Ylang Ylang, patchouli, orange, and then blue tansy. And Zen had tangerine orange, Ylang Ylang, patchouli, blue tansy. So in this blend, the Ylang Ylang is a little bit higher on the recipe or ingredients list, so that tells me that this probably contains much more Ylang Ylang than this blend does. Also, look at that. So that Let It Go blend is much more blue in comparison to the Zen, which tells me again that there is much more of those orange and tangerine citrus oils in this blend than there are in this one. Even though blue tansy is still at the end of the ingredients list for this, I can smell the blue tansy in this so much more than in this. In this one, I am really getting a lot of that citrus, Ylang Ylang, and patchouli, which is probably why I like it a little bit better. This one is much more sweet. So this one's much more tangy. This one's much more sweet. So are these two truly comparable? Yes and no. Yes and no. Because yes, they have that same vibe to it, but because this has much more blue tansy and much less orange in it, there is a distinct difference between these two specifically. All right, so now let's talk about Peace and Calming. Peace and Calming to me is the one that started it all, right? Because these two companies definitely came after Young Living did, and Peace and Calming kind of started the whole craze, right? So Peace and Calming is definitely a cult favorite amongst the Young Living community, Young Living world. Anyone who has gotten a starter kit has gotten this oil. It's definitely a favorite. So this is a 5 ml bottle, so you could probably tell that it is the smallest one out of all of them. I've personally seen it on social media, a bigger bottle of this. I've seen some people have a 15 ml of this bottle, but I feel like the 15 ml bottles of Peace and Calming are usually like a special gift, or like, oh, it's a special like perk this month. I don't know that they truly sell the 15 ml on its own, because as I was doing my research to look at the different sizes that they have for these, I didn't find it. Also forgot to look and see if they had a rollerball version of this. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that they do have like the roll-on version of this, but I don't have the price for that, so I do apologize for that. You can look it up on their website, and if I do find it, I will link it down below for you. But the 5 ml, so wholesale of this, and remember that wholesale means if you are a Young Living member, this 5 ml bottle of Peace and Calming is going to cost you $36.25. And retail, so if you are not a Young Living member and just happen to purchase it off their website, is $47.70. Now, this once again has the exact same ingredients as the 2 previous oils, Let It Go, now known as Chill Out, and Zen. So the order of ingredients for this blend is tangerine orange, Ylang Ylang, patchouli, and blue tansy. Exactly the same as Zen, exactly the same order as Zen. So let's go ahead and take a smell comparison. Oops. Yeah. You want a comparable oil? Here you go. And look at that. They even have matching that green coloring. So you know for a fact that there is a lot of citrus in these blends. But I can't, if you were to blindfold me and put these 2 oils under my nose, like one at a time, I would tell you, okay, give me a different one. Like I would think that they're the exact same oil. Now, if I had to be truly picky, I feel like Zen, I'm picking up much more of the citrus. And in Peace and Calming, I'm picking up much more of the patchouli. I'm a huge patchouli fan, so I love it either way. But yeah, it's almost impossible to pick up the difference of these 2 oils. And so the question remains, do I need all 3 of these oils? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Again, this one happened to be an oil of the month. This one, I just wanted to be able to compare it to this one. And this one, I just got lucky because I wanted a Young Living starter kit. So I got it as a bonus in that kit. So I'm happy because I'm able to do this comparison for you. But I think that moving forward, once I do run out of these 3 oils, which one I would repurchase, I think that I would definitely have to go with Zen. So usually at the end of my videos, I kind of rank them in order. So when it comes to comparing them as far as like alike to Peace and Calming, these 2 for sure. Like these 2, undeniable. If you do not want to shop Young Living, if you do not want to become a member, but you want that Peace and Calming, get Zen, seriously. If you want something that's very similar, but it's more on the sweeter side, definitely get Let It Go. So if I had to rank them, I would definitely go Zen first, just because you can't beat the price, and I don't have to become a member of anything to be able to purchase this oil. So at $28 for 10 mLs, that's a great deal. Next up, as far as like smell wise, I would have to rank Peace and Calming next as my favorite. Again, I don't see myself repurchasing this oil because I just can't justify paying $36 for a 5 ml bottle that I could pay $28 for more for. And then Let It Go, lastly, again, also known as Chill Out. I mean, it smells great. It doesn't smell bad. And I definitely will use it up. Again, I told you I have it in my passive diffuser. But it's just, in comparison to the other 2, this one does smell much sweeter, and it's because it contains much more blue tansy. So that's my ranking for these 3. If you definitely have always wanted to try this oil, trust me, get the one from Revive. It smells exactly the same, and you get more for less. If you guys are enjoying these videos, these comparison videos, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I am new and I am growing, and I'm just loving sharing my thoughts and comparisons with everyone. Leave me any questions you might have in the comments down below. I do have plans to continue to do these comparison videos. I think that next up, I definitely will be comparing my Young Living Stress Easy to Revive's, I'm sorry. I always mix those 2 up. So I will be comparing my Revive Stress Easy to my Young Living Stress Away and kind of give you guys my thoughts and feelings on those two. But until the next video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe. And if you want to see more of my day-to-day use of oils, you can check me out at learningtobeme_Erica, and that's 2 A's at the end of Erica. Thanks for watching. Bye.